Hello, today we're going to talk about the gut. Now the gut is one of my favourite subjects because the gut is so important to our health and our well-being. They say 70% of the immune system resides in the gut. So at this time when we're trying to stay healthy and be in that optimum space, one of the places we really need to address is the gut. So how can we look after our gut? How can we make sure our gut is really working with us? So the gut is working in many different ways for our body. As I said, it's our protection, it's 70% of our immune system. Our gut starts here and finishes at our bottom, and everything in between is our gut. So as soon as something enters your mouth, your body is deciphering, is this good or is this bad? What do I want to do with this? So your body is reacting, it's understanding, it's looking at if something is a toxin, if it's a virus, if it's a pathogen, what needs to happen with that thing. So the gut is so important for that reason. The other reason the gut is so important is because if our gut isn't in optimum health, then what happens is we're not absorbing the nutrients from the food we're eating. Now, one of the keys to staying healthy is to maximize our nutrients. Yet if our gut is not absorbing, how can we maximize those nutrients? And obviously, the last thing that the gut is doing is it's eliminating, it's breaking down the food and it's eliminating waste. It's eliminating toxins from our system. So let's break it down a little bit and have a little bit of a look at what we can do to really support our gut. Well, first of all, we have to remove the bad guys. What are the bad guys? Well, pathogens, bad bacteria, yeast overgrowths, parasites, all of these things are things that we don't want in our gut, or we want them in the right balance. We need yeast and we need bad bacteria, but we don't want too many of them. Just like weeds in a garden, it's all right to have a few. Some of them are pretty, some of them are nutritious, but we don't want them to take over the garden. And this is the same with the bacteria in our gut. So adding in foods that keep those bad bacteria and yeasts at bay are a really important thing. So garlic, amazing to keep that bad bacteria at bay. Basil, thyme, rosemary, all those lovely pungent herbs work to kill off bad bacteria. Another thing, grapefruit seed extract, horseradish. Again, see those things, it's all those pungent, strong flavours that really help to keep that balance. If you're looking at fungal overgrowths, then pau d'arco is an amazing bark of a tree from the Amazon, and that is really amazing at reducing fungal overgrowths. Also, olive leaf, another really good thing for keeping fungal overgrowths at bay. Surprisingly enough, and this is quite one that usually catches people out of it, but adding in medicinal mushrooms like reishi and chaga, turkey tails into your diet actually helps to reduce fungal overgrowths in the gut. And you're probably thinking, well, how does that work? Because you're putting fungus in to reduce fungal overgrowths? Well, in the fungal kingdom, there is a hierarchy and a kind of what's the word I'm looking for, dominance thing that happens. So if you have, for example, turkey tails growing on a log, you're not going to find other mushrooms on that log. It's just going to be turkey tails because the mushrooms send out a signal saying, oi, this is my patch. So when you start working with these higher mushrooms like reishi, turkey tails, chaga, things like that, they're going to push out the lower fungal conditions like candida from the body. So those are a few things that you can do to remove bacteria and yeast overgrowths. When we're looking at parasites, horseradish, chili, garlic, all of those things are very good at removing parasites. Pumpkin seeds, watermelon seeds, papaya seeds. Then you get onto the stronger ones like black walnut hull, wormwood, and cloves as well. Now, if you are looking at doing a parasite cleanse, make sure you talk to a healthcare professional so that you get the right combination of things for you to take. Some of them are too strong on the liver if you've got any liver conditions, so it's always worth checking with a healthcare professional before embarking on any strong herbs to clear and detox your body of parasites. So then when we're looking at removing stuff from the gut, we also want to look at removing the things that are affecting our gut negatively. So refined foods have a really detrimental effect on the health of our gut. So we want to reduce or remove these from our diet, ideally. Then once we've dealt with removing stage, we want to move on to the next stage, which is repairing. We want to make sure that our gut wall is nice and healed and whole. So adding in things like turmeric, because this helps seal the holes in the gut wall. It helps to tighten the loose junctions. There's a great product called Restore, which I've been using with my family and some of my clients recently, which is basically dirt water. It's ancient soil in a water form, so that you're adding in these ancient bacteria to help the gut work in optimum state. So turmeric, aloe vera is another thing that's really good to help to seal the holes in the gut wall. A diet rich in vitamin A, so beta carotenes are really good to help seal the gut wall as well. And then we move on to replacing the good bacteria. We want to make sure we're putting the good guys in as much as possible. So I love water kefir. We have water kefir most days here. Really easy to do, cheap, it's affordable, delicious, and that's a great probiotic drink that you can have. You can make kombucha. There are lots of different things, Jun, that you can do, that you can take to put the good bacteria in. Sauerkraut, kimchi, again, amazing, delicious things that you can eat. And it's best to have probiotics with food so that the soluble fibre in the food can feed the probiotics, can feed the good bacteria so that they take hold at a much stronger rate. So this is a really great thing to do. One of the things that I think is so important when we look at gut health is looking at the state of our soil, because our gut and our soil are so closely linked. One of the ways when you're little that you can strengthen your gut and build a really good, strong immune system is by playing in the dirt, getting that bacteria from the earth, because it goes into your body and it shapes the breadth and the depth of your gut bacteria. So when we connect with the earth more and when we look after the soil, this has a knock-on effect of informing our gut. You know, our gut is the home of so much. It's not just about the physical level, but also it's where we hold our emotions. The gut is our home of our intuition. You know, you've heard that saying, follow your gut instinct. Well, this is such an important thing to be aware of. This area is such an important space of holding. And for a lot of people, if you're stressed and you have high cortisol levels, this is the area that we hold extra weight. So when we look at working on the gut, we have to work on it on many different layers. The physical, which we've talked about, but also the emotional, and tuning in and seeing, what am I holding on to? What is it in my life? What emotions are stuck that I don't want to let go of? We also have to look at, what emotions am I putting into my body through my food, because they're all going into your digestive system. They're all getting stuck in that area. So it's really important to take your consciousness and your awareness to that deeper level. We are more than our physical bodies. We are emotional, mental, spiritual beings. And we have to address things on all levels. And as I said, the gut is the home of our life force. It's the home of our vitality. It's the home of our intuition. It's such an important role in our being, and yet we neglect it. One of the things I've noticed that happens with people so often is that when we don't love ourselves, when we don't take care of ourselves, the gut is one of the first places that gets put out of whack, because we generally then don't make right food choices, which is going to affect how we digest things. You know, and you think about it, how you digest food is how you digest life. So how are you digesting life? Are you allowing things to come into your body and sit in your being? Or are they coming in and you're throwing them out really quickly? And this is the same for abundance as well. Are you allowing abundance in and to sit and be full in your being? And abundance doesn't just mean finance, it means anything. Abundance of joy, abundance of anything. Or do you feel you have to receive it and throw it out? It's like a compliment. If someone says, you look beautiful today, do you say thank you? Or do you say, yeah, well, you look great too? If that's the case, what you're doing is you're not even absorbing that compliment. You're kind of taking it in on the surface and then giving it back, because it's too much to receive. So this is a really important thing when we're looking at our gut, when we're looking at how we digest food, how we digest life, that we work on this. Because when we work on something on an energetic level, we also work on it on a physical. So I want you to have a think about that. How are you digesting your life? And how are you digesting your food? What choices are you making about your life? Do you feel like you have parasites in your gut? Usually if you have parasites in your gut, there's a sign that there are parasitic activities in your life. You're giving away, you're leaking your energy to others. So a few things, a few bits of food for thought when it comes to how we can look at healing our gut and allowing our gut to support our immune system, to support us staying healthy. You know, one last thing that I want to mention is that obviously when we want to stay healthy, when we want to stay in that optimum space of well-being, our gut has such an important role. And what we need to really do is sit and tune into it. Sit and connect and ask your gut, what is it that you need to do? What is the next step? What love does your gut need to make it work better? And ask that inner wisdom of yours, what you need to do to really support having a happy, healthy gut, having a happy transitory time. One of the things that might come up is drink more water. This is really essential for gut health. Another thing that might come up is to not eat in a stressed state, because when we've got high cortisol levels, this takes energy away from our digestive system. So we're not going to break the food down properly. It may be that we have to take some time to give gratitude to the food we have before us before we eat it. This puts us into the right space to digest that food properly. So those are a few things that your body might come up with. I'd love to hear from you what you thought of this video and what comes up for you when you tune into what your gut needs. So thank you and have a good day.